What's going on, everyone? BT17 is around the corner, and I wanted to just start breaking down some new support that's coming along the way. Of course, Red Hybrid being set in there, not a set, but a support in the BT17. And let's just dive right into it and talk about it. Starting off with the Flamon. Now, these are going to be like, they're red and purple now, which eventually in the later sets, I forget which BT it is, I think 18, 19, 18. It's all red hybrid, not red hybrid, it's all hybrid stuff. So these will kind of interact more later on with other hybrid cards, which is pretty cool. Kind of like the show, right? They all kind of go into Susano. Anyway, we do got a new Flamon. This one does have an on play and on deletion. The on play reveal 3 cards, add a card with hybrid or 10 warriors in this trait, and 1 tamer card, and the rest go back to the bottom. This is good because we do have one Flamon that does the same thing, but yeah, that's it. And I think it doesn't have an in here. I think that was one of the first hybrids right here, right? So we do have the BT4. It just added hybrid. You can't add 10 warriors, so the new one is actually better. And of course, this one also allows you to get a tamer, but the new one has the on deletion effect, being able to play a tamer from your hand. So this Flamon is just going to be superior. You are going to be seeing 4 of these in the red hybrid deck. No Gunimon. Now here's where it starts getting a little nice. It does have the little text in the bottom where it says you may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your red tamers as this card as if it's a level 3. It would cost 3 though, just remember that. However, we do have now a black text that says Takuya Kanabara costs 2, Burning Greymon costs 1. So now you could essentially still hybrid for game for 2, but it has to be that specific tamer, which I think is pretty cool. I like that they're allowing you to have still hybrid for game on a normal red tamer. When digivolving, if Burning Greymon is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, or if you have a blue or green Digimon or tamer, this Digimon may digivolve into AncientGreymon in the hand for a Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring its Digivolution requirements. If digivolved by this effect, delete the Digimon at the end of the turn. So now we're kind of going back to AncientGreymon, which we're going back into AncientGreymon in BT17, and we'll get to it, but it's kind of the same thing as the EmperorGreymon, although I would say the AncientGreymon is better because now you can digicross. The inherit for this Agunimon is your turn, this Digimon gets 2000 EP, so now your AncientGreymon will jump, well this one's a 12, so it's already a plus over the EmperorGreymon. You go to 12, you're at 12, not 11, so you go to 14 with the Agunimon. And then the Burning Greymon, these arts are actually pretty cool. I like this Agunimon because it's kind of like someone like hand brushed it, hand painted it, the trees. The Burning Greymon here, digivolve from Takuya, cost of 2, or Agunimon for 1. So you're able to hybrid from the hybrid. Yeah, you're able to hybrid for game as well into the Takuya, and of course, or your red tamers, but it would cost 3. Same thing as the Agunimon. This one has built-in raid, which is really important because then it triggers the one attacking. This Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with hybrid trait in its hand with the Digivolution reduced by 1. It's really important because now you're triggering the Agunimon, so you get to raid into a Digimon using Burning Greymon's effect raid. Then when attacking, digivolve into the Agunimon for 0 because it's reduced by 1. And now the Agunimon triggers when digivolving, and now you go into the AncientGreymon. Really nuts. So that is essentially what the whole gimmick is going to be for BT17 with Red Hybrid now. And then of course to inherit your turn, this Digimon gets 2000. So now your AncientGreymon could jump up to 16k, which there's not really any Digimon as strong besides the Alphamon or Yukon, which I can really only think of at the moment. Then we got the new Aldamon, which kind of puts 2 Aldamons together, because it has a hand main effect by placing 1 Agunimon and 1 Burning Greymon from the trash under one of your Takuyas, digivolve it into a card as if that card is a level 4 Digimon for a Digivolution cost of 3. So what I like about it is that this is kind of more of late game, right? Late game, you know, they answer to all of your stuff. Or in this case, the Agunimon is going to pop the AncientGreymon because of its effect. If you digivolve using that effect, then, you know, it's gonna die. So late game, this helps because since it is gonna die, you can use a hand effect. You're gonna have an Agunimon and a Burning Greymon in trash, boom, go into it, and now you could digivolve into an Ancient Greymon again, or maybe if you still want to use the EmperorGreymon, but you know. And then it has a when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. Pretty nice, good to get over some floodgates or blockers. And then the inherit, your turn, when this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors trait, it does not activate security effects on option cards it checks. Keep in mind that this still will obviously trigger tamers or Digimon, so long as it's not options. So this is just putting the, let's see, I have them here. This is just putting the, if I can find you, it's really putting the BT12 Aldamon and the BT7 Aldamon into one card. That's essentially what it does. So let's get into this Ancient Greymon here. Built-in security attack +1. Has an on-play and when digivolving, which is important because the on-play, since you are going to be digicrossing, it will trigger. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP than this Digimon. Again, same thing as EmperorGreymon, but EmperorGreymon is only when digivolving. Then on deletion, return one Tamer card and one Digimon card with hybrid trait from the trash to the hand. Then you may play one Tamer card from your hand without paying the cost. So this is cool because now it's setting you up. You know, you swing, get the security attack plus after you do the Gunimons when digivolving. Run over things with raid, which you would need piercing, which is what the new Takuya does, which we'll get into. Set yourself up, return a Tamer card, play it at the end. So it's really an exact copy of EmperorGreymon. This one's just better because of the digicross. Digicross -3 for Gunimon and Burning Greymon. So what this means is if you have a Gunimon and Burning Greymon, for each one you use to digicross, you reduce the play cost by 3. So if you use 2, now it decreases by 3, so it'd be 6. So you get to play Ancient Grey for 6, and now Ancient Grey on play would trigger, and now since you have both of the inherits, he's at 16,000 DP. You're essentially playing a Gaia Force for a play cost of 6 as opposed to 8. Really nice. It's good. I like it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can just digicross with one source. I don't know why you would do that. Maybe if that's kind of like the only thing you would have to do. Takuya, security effect, get to play it, start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. It's nice because if you have the other Takuyas, they're memory setters. Now this is going to bump you to 4, which can be good, but I mean you're really digivolving for 1 or 3. I guess if you go here, this Aldamon is for 4, so it kind of sucks. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So I don't think you're really going to see too much of this card. I'm going to try it, I'll be honest, I'll try it. I'll probably put 1, 2, maybe 2 might be too much, but I'll probably just put 1 just to put it, just to try it out. But I'm probably just going to cut it, and I just think the old, I think it's BT8, Aldamon is just superior. I don't know if it's BT8, we'll get there. And then we have the new option card, 10 Warriors. I'll read it, and then I'll talk about it. While you have a Tamer or Digimon with hybrid, you can play it without the color requirements. Main effect, you may return one Digimon card with hybrid or 10 Warriors trait from your trash to the hand. Then you may play one Digimon card with the 10 Warriors trait or one Tamer card with an inherited effect from your hand with the play cost reduced by 4. I'm not sure. See, I'm one of those tamers people that I'll try the new cards just to try it and see how it works, and then I'll cut it, right? So I'll start like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try it with 2, and then see how I like it. Okay, you know what, let me try it at 3 or 4. And if I don't like it, I'm like, okay, well, I still think maybe it could be used, so let me cut it to 2, to 1. Then I'm like, you know what, I don't ever use it, let me just cut it. I'm gonna be honest with you, this option card is more catered to when we get the Susanoo Ace. So we have one now, I think, in the later one, BT18 or so. There's gonna be Ace cards, I believe, where they have on-play effects. The old Susanoo does not have an on-play effect. The new one, I believe, does. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But this is more catered to that. But I mean, being able to recycle things from your hand, from the trash to the hand, and then playing it for reduced cost of 4. I mean, you could essentially play a Tamer for 2 and it's opposed to 4. So, don't think it's bad at all. I am launching green memory counters now, or power counters, whatever you want to call them. And these look actually sweet. These are kind of like a forest green. They look bright because of the light. So, you guys wanted me to release green counters, and there we go. So, if you are going to place an order on my Etsy shop, shoot me a message and let me know you want the green. I don't have it as a variation there yet because I want to fully print one and take pictures in a video and put it on there. But if you want a green one, let me know. Now I do have this tab here of the old cards, and I just want to talk about real quickly which ones are you going to see, which ones you're not going to see anymore. This Flamon I still think you're going to see just because you're going through your deck, you're trashing one, you're drawing two, and then the Inherit giving you DP. This one I think is just completely going to be replaced by the new one because it does the same thing and it has an Inherit effect. Not to mention you can pick up a Susano or a card with 10 warriors, so it's just superior to this one. However, this one could still be good. The Flamon with Piercing, this one was already dropped long ago. I like to play it. I had it one of just because you take, I haven't played Red Hybrid in a while. You take cards from the trash, and you could use it and give your EmperorGreymon Piercing or AncientGreymon in this sense, but the new Takuya does that, so you're probably not going to see it at all. Maybe if players don't play the Takuya, they might tech in one of this Flamon just to give Piercing, but since the whole gimmick now is to raid into your opponent, it's kind of up in the air, but I'm going to go with probably not. This Flamon, I still think you're going to see it just because it's a searcher and it has on deletion play a Takuya. The Neemon here, I don't think you're going to see it as much just because, let me read through this real quick. You can play a Tamer with Inherit effect, which you're already going to do that by your effects. Then alternately, one of your Digimon Tamer card is in its Digivolution card is deleted, you may play one Tamer card. Might be used, but I still think the Pokemon is going to be used more. So this could go hand in hand with the new AncientGreymon now that I'm thinking about it. Because if you end up using the Gunimon at the end of the turn, it's going to get popped. So that will trigger the Neemon, giving you 2 memory. Right? And playing the Tamer card. And you're going to play another one from the AncientGreymon. So, you might see Neemon, but a lot of players are running more Pokemon just because one of your Tamers Digivolves gains some memory, which you are. It's better because if you but if your opponent leaves you at 2, you don't have a memory set Tamer, or even if you're at 1, you Digivolve the Takuya, you Digivolve the Takuya to a hybrid, and the Pokemon gives you memory. So you're going to Digivolve for free, and then with the old Aldamon, you Digivolve for 1 because you have a Tamer and a hybrid card. So Digivolve for 1. So now even if you're at 1, you could you could get up to a level 5 with the Pokemon. So definitely see the Pokemon. This Agunimon, not sure yet. Like I said, a lot of the decks I'm gonna have to play around with and mess around and see. Leave me alone. And see what's gonna work with or not. But this one possibly you could because it could still Digivolve over the Burning Gray and play a Flamon from your hand to spend it when it gets deleted. This Burning Greymon you are still gonna see. So I think those two you're still gonna see. You can still use because they can Digivolve over each other, and that's kind of the whole gimmick that it seems like it's going for. This Agunimon, I don't think it's going to see play anymore because this was just back in the day. BT4 prime time for when it got released, right? Just hybrid for game, just over any red Tamer. So you're definitely not going to see it anymore. This Burning Greymon, you haven't really seen much play with it. It was kind of more of if you want to be really aggressive early on and just go up there and then give it the Atomic Inferno. Is it called Atomic Inferno? The option card that gives them Security Attack Plus, right? You're swinging for 9k, and then you have the Tamer, the Takuya, give it Security Attack Plus, and then you got Security Attack Plus 2, and it's over 10k, so it's going to get the added Security Attack. So, but really, you're not going to use it for that. This Burning Greymon, I still think it could be used. It's always good to be able to pop a Digimon 4000 DP or less. This one is going to be your other main one, so I would suggest picking this up before they do spike and increase price, which they will. Reason is because it does the same thing as actually, this one is better because it's when Digivolving. It does the same thing, allowing you to warp into the AncientGreymon, but this one you have to attack, which doesn't matter because when you attack, you go into the Ancient Grey, and the Ancient Grey is the one finishing the attack. So the Digimon can Digivolve into AncientGreymon in your hand for a memory cost of 2. Ignoring its Digivolution requirements, if it does, delete it at the end of the turn, which will trigger the AncientGreymon's on deletion, trigger Neemon, if you are playing Neemon. And then your turn, when Digivolving, when Digivolving this Digimon into an AncientGreymon in your hand, reduce its Digivolution cost by 2. So can be good because those AncientGreymons are like 4 or 5 cost if I'm not mistaken. So you're definitely going to be seeing 4 of those. Really, I'm trying 4 of these and 4 of the newer Gunimon along with a few copies of the Burning Greymons. This Aldamon, you're just not going to see it. You're not. This Aldamon, I don't think you'll see it either at all, just because of the space of the hybrid decks. You really don't ever run a lot of level 5s. Like, even then, people only run like 2 copies of this Aldamon. I run 4 just because I love the thing, but it's still good. Security attack plus, and then if it has if you meet the requirements, it get 4,000, so it's 11,000. Another 2,000, or 2,000 from the Takuyas. He's at 13,000. Security attack plus, so it's a good aggro card, but it's not the goal to be aggro with level 4s or level 5s at the end of the day. The Aldamon, which I still think is the best Aldamon we got, just because when one of your Digimon with a Tamer card and its Digivolution cards digivolves into this card in your hand, reduce the memory cost, reduce the evil cost by 2. Now you're digivolving for 1, kind of like the scenario I said. From 1, you can go all the way to level 5, and then you just digivolve into AncientGreymon, pop something else. Then we'll digivolve. If this card has hybrid in its trait, and this Digimon's Digivolution cards, it gets 4,000 DP for the turn. So just digivolving into this one, you have a 12,000 DP hitter level 5. Inherit your turn while this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors in its trait. It doesn't activate security effects on option cards with checks. So it's just still better to run that one. Like I said, EmperorGreymon, it just does the same thing as AncientGreymon does. It does. I was like, man, I really like the EmperorGreymon. Like, what does this AncientGreymon do? And then I looked at it, I'm like, let's say you have built-in security attack plus 1. You get to pop Digimon with the same DP. On deletion, return card. Oh, you do the same thing. Now you have digixros. Yeah, it's better. Now the only thing I would argue is that this is a 4 cost, but the promo Goonie reduces it by 2, and this is a 3 cost, and has 11,000 DP, so EmperorGreymon's time might have come to a close. AncientGreymon, you're definitely going to see this. See, it's a 5 cost. This is going to be, I think it really depends. It could either be your main Digimon. Now there's an ambulance coming down my street. I live right next to a hospital. Common. So, if you guys ever hear like sirens, it's an ambulance coming down my street. Alright. So, this AncientGreymon BT4, I think it depends how you want to run it. It could either be your primary level 6 or your secondary level 6. Anyway, your turn. For each Digimon card in this Digimon's Digivolution, cards with Greymon in its name other than Doro Grey, Burning Grey, or Dex Doro Grey, which all the hybrid cards count, or hybrid in its form in this Digimon gains security attack plus 1. Man, English is hard, dude. Okay, basically for every card that has hybrid in its trait, it gets security attack plus 1. So now if you build up all the way up, you have level 3, level 4, level 5. That's 1, 2, 3, security attack plus 3. I don't know if he counts him. No, he doesn't count himself. He doesn't even have it in his trait. So you get security attack plus 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be more, it might be less. On deletion, you may play one red level 4 or lower Digimon card with hybrid in its form from your hand without paying the memory cost. That's nice. And that's pretty much. I don't got much to say about it. This Susanomon, I don't think you're going to see play at all. Now, you may digivolve this card from your hand onto one of your tamers as a tamer if it's level 6 by placing 10 tamer cards and or cards with hybrid in their traits from the hand or trash at the bottom of the deck in any order. Security attack built in plus 2. When digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Reason, see, this sucks, is like if they said reduce it by 1 for every 2, now you're not digivolving for 7. That sucks. And again, it doesn't have an on play, it's just one digivolving. Yeah, you could do it from the tamer, but the new option that will let you play it, reduce it by 4. So you're gonna play it for 11, and then it has a one digivolving not on play, so definitely not gonna see it. Atomic Inferno, I've seen deck profiles that are cutting this card, and because they all have built-in security attack plus, the BT4 AncientGreymon can have attack plus 2, plus 3. I'm gonna play around with it. I might try 1, 2, I'll see how it goes. This one, just giving your hybrid form 3000 TP, security attack plus 1. Then if it gets blocked, gain 3 memory, which could help against something like Magna. That way if it blocks, if it does get deleted, now you get 3 memory, you get to play something else, and hopefully you just get to go back up. But We'll talk about how to deal with Magnamon in a second. So you might not see much play from the Atomic Inferno. The security effect is really nice though. You know, get that blanket security attack +1, so even if you come up from Raising Area or Digivolve from the Tamer, they get security attack +1. This Takuya you're still going to see play even though you're not going to run EmperorGreymons. Reason is because you're able to start the process of Digivolving into the EmperorGreymon by placing cards underneath from the trash. See, I knew there was trash somewhere. Digivolve from the trash, so that you can stop. Reason being is because since your hand is private information, there's no way of knowing do you have an EmperorGreymon in your hand or not. So therefore, you can place the 5 and be like, oh, I don't have it, I can't do it. Now you have all that stack underneath, which then if you end up going all the way to the AncientGreymon, that's like security attack +6, +10. So that's crazy. It's like break both of your damn shields. Take all my security stack and yours. So it's cool, you're still gonna see it play for sure. Your turn when this Digimon gets 2000 DP, well this Digimon has 10,000 DP or more, it gets security attack +1. So you're definitely going to see it. I don't know why I didn't put the other Takuya on here, but you're definitely going to see the other one played more than this one because it is a memory set tamer. And you gain memory when you attack if it has 10,000 DP or more. Now let's talk about some few tech cards that you could run. Omnimon, you're going to see it being played just because of the blitz you unsuspend after you Digivolve. So if by chance you get to play the AncientGreymon, remember it deletes at the end of your turn. So if you play something like Gravity Crush, something that keeps your turn even after you Digivolve an attack, then you just slap the Omni and unsuspend Omni for game. So you are able to do that. Now how many copies you can run? Maybe 1, 2, no more than 3 obviously. High speed plug-in D is how you can get around Magna because it prevents your opponent's Digimon from blocking. Now the reason this works is because you're not targeting the Magnamon, it's kind of a blanket effect. So if your opponent attacks, then they just can't block. I'm sorry, if you attack them, they can't block. The jamming, I mean, it really doesn't matter for a hybrid deck because your DP is like sky high. Security effect, draw 1, and then add this card to the hand. I'm going to try 1 in the deck. The reason this works is because if you have a Tamer in play, you can use it. So the way it would work, first you need the memory. So you would play it while you have the Takuya, or if you have another Takuya. But you play it before you Digivolve using the Takuya, because then if you Digivolve, then you can't play it because you don't have a Tamer in play. Calling from Darkness, I was thinking about it, but then there's AncientGreymon that can return cards from the trash to your hand. So you really don't need to run this. I just thought of like, man, they're dual colored purple, so I'm like, man, you could tack in some purple cards in here, you know, purple option cards, but there's not really many purple options that you would tack in here. Gravity Crush, I still think it could be good if you want to maintain turn, like I said prior, if you want to Omni for game, because then if your turn ends, AncientGreymon does get deleted from your own effects. Fire Rocket, I think will work really well because one of your Digimon with 2 or more colors gains security attack +1. Now, are you really going to run it? No, because the AncientGreymon can give itself security attack plus. Now, if you're doing the new AncientGreymon that only has the built-in, maybe you could take 1 in, 2 in, but probably not. Security effect, delete one of your Digimons with blocker, and it's alright. Crimson Blaze, I do think you're going to see play in it because a lot of decks play Digimon by effects, and you can mitigate the board, so definitely do that. Red Memory Boost and Offense Training, I think you're going to see it's played more, which you might play Red Memory over Gravity Crush because it's just better. You get to reveal cards, search through your deck, and then you get to gain the 2 memory with no repercussion of losing the 2 memory at the end of the day. Offense Training, it can be good. I just think you need to gain memory more than reducing evil cost. You're already getting reduced from the promo of Gooing. Yeah, it costs 4 or 5, which is why you could do it. But if you're able to just gain memory back before you do it, I mean, I don't know, kind of tongue-tied here, but sometimes you could do more by having more memory as opposed to reducing Digivolution, if that makes sense. That's pretty much it. That's kind of the overview of the Red Hybrid. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like it? Do you guys want me to keep making videos like this? I'll make a few more just to see how you guys gauge and like it.